ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
응답하라 여친. Go to the into the shit.
Back to the count to the Jew. Hey. Jane.
Mm-hmm.
You have a juicy topic for me.
Oh, well, I don't know how juicy it is, but, on the subject of parenting,
Yes.
right?
That's not usually
Yeah.
what gets me all juiced up, but
Oh, yeah?
go on.
Okay. Well, I should preface this by saying I am maybe 2 or 3 days away from my period.
Oh,
it's coming in 2 or 3 days.
Oh, okay. Because I
Okay.
was, I was like, is she gonna talk about her period?
No.
What
I've
is
been
this?
feeling like irritable, but like more irritable than usual. And so I had to open up my app and it said like period in 6 days. I'm like, this makes a lot of sense. So let me just
Do you feel
brace
guilty
for
when
it.
you're irritable? I feel very guilty. I'm like, why am I so irritated? Have you seen
And my baseline is always kind of irritated, so
No,
I don't
have
feel
you seen that
too
video
terribly guilty.
of that this mom that was like, "What are you doing?" And then the kid's like, "Why are you yelling?" I'm like, "I'm not yelling." What are you doing? She's trying to say it not yelling,
Yeah.
but it's like, what are you doing? She couldn't do it. She's constantly yelling.
Tone is everything.
Yeah, my kids are always like, "You're yelling." I'm like, "No, this is me." And then Adonis will jump in like, "That's just how your mom talks now."
Mm-hmm.
It's mom mode.
Yeah.
But I feel bad that I'm always like on edge.
Yeah.
But you're irritable.
Well, I'm on edge, irritable because of several factors. But one is my period.
Yes.
2 is at the time of recording, we have 3 more days of school left. So this has been.
You have 3 more days
We
of
have
school
3
left?
more days.
That's it?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Is that what
you
I
might
have
want
too?
to check your calendar. You might want to check your calendar.
I've been telling everybody they got another 2 weeks.
But I don't know because just some other districts, they go.
No, I think you're right. I think
a few
next
more
week
days.
is it.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
I know other districts that had snow days. We didn't have any snow days this year.
Oh, we did, I think, have at least one.
Okay. We don't do snow days because Seattle decided to do remote learning since we're all experts on remote learning now, apparently after the pandemic. Well, Seattle
honestly,
did it the
you
longest.
guys don't get snow.
We don't get snow.
You
No.
don't get
So
snow.
the one day we did get snow, the kids wanted to play all day in the snow. They couldn't because they had to report at 7:55 online.
Oh, shit.
And I promised them you can play in the snow after school. After the remote day was over, there was no snow. So we truly did not have a snow day.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Oh,
and it's really just
no.
because the buses can't,
Yeah.
they can't
Yeah,
navigate the
that's
streets.
true.
Yeah, it's not because
It was
it's
like frost
a
at
snow
most.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's the end of school. I'm trying to juggle all these things like impending trips and visitors and graduation party for
right.
Bennett.
It's a lot.
Trying to do all that. It's a lot. Yeah. I wanted to talk to you particularly about something that was just kind of like itching. It's like bugging me
Okay.
in the back of my mind.
This is what I say.
And it involves.
This is what I'm saying is juicy for me. I
Yes.
love hearing about when you get irritated because you're so composed that I find it so fascinating.
Well,
when
I
you're
need to talk to you about it
agitated.
because it caught me truly off guard.
Oh.
Truly off
Oh
guard.
my God, this is getting juicier by the minute. Tell me more.
Where usually when I'm in this place of irritability, it's like triggered by my own children. But this time it is not my own child,
Oh.
but child of a friend who,
Yep.
we're in each other's lives.
Yes.
Like our lives are blended.
Yes.
And this whole year we have done an arrangement where I took this child home with us after school one day.
Yep.
And I did that as a way to kind of relieve my friends, offer them a solution,
Right.
because they were concerned that their daughter didn't enjoy the after school care program.
Oh, okay.
And it's a lot, for a kindergartner
Yeah.
to be there for 3 hours after
Yes.
school
Mm-hmm.
and be with a group of, mixed age kids, K
Right.
through 5, and a very unstructured day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at the time, back in the fall, back in September, when I said, hey, like we don't really have a lot going on, one of the days. Um, if she'd like, maybe this is an alternative. If she can come over and then she can play with my kids and,
Mm.
we
Uh-oh,
can do that.
Jane. Okay.
So we did that and it was good. It
Mm.
was right away I discovered, oh, Jane, what did what did you do? Because our kids
I
are
felt that in the
this school year they were grade 5, 3 and kindergarten. So there was like a significant gap there.
Oh, okay.
And the 3rd grader Ruby was bringing home homework,
Yeah.
but she's not at the level. She never reached the level where she can do the homework independently. I have to
Right.
sit down and be
Yeah.
with her. Bennett has been at the level where he does not want to be bothered. He doesn't show me the homework. He does it on his own.
Yeah.
And he's good.
He's Mr. Independent.
So we had a great system going where he would finish his homework early and then kind of play with
Yeah.
our friend. And with Ruby, is sometimes it would take 30 minutes to do her homework. Sometimes it would take closer to an hour.
Wow.
But I'm juggling the parenting 3 kids
Yeah.
in the middle of like giving snack or whatever.
Right.
And I was like, okay, this, and our house, mind you, it just looks different than a house that has like a kindergartner and a preschooler.
Yes.
We
You
have
throw a kindergarten in there, that is going to be a
Mhm.
little, it's chaos. If
Admittedly,
it instantly, even though they're a tiny little human, they occupy so much space.
so much space,
Yeah.
so much
They
space.
take up.
And that was a learning for me because it already seems so long ago that my kids were at that
Yeah.
age. Now I'm at a stage where I can like the clutter, the toy clutter, all of that is pretty well contained.
Yeah.
And
You have,
my
you have a
kids,
routine.
yeah, and they self curate. They'll self purge
Yes.
periodically.
Yes.
We don't have lots of, like the toy collection has kind of like dwindled
Yeah,
down.
you've minimized.
Yeah,
It's
minimized.
nice to
Mhm.
minimize. Absolutely.
Yeah, and when my kids play, quote unquote play, it's not with toys.
Right. Clutters.
Right. It's with like drawing
Yeah.
or like Ruby loves to do like a draw along with like the YouTube videos and
Nice,
stuff.
yeah.
Right.
It's a very simplified,
Right.
contained play.
Contained play.
I remember when my
and they
kids
like
were
board
little.
games too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we have a whole
But you box
cabinet.
it up and then
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this child we spend a lot of time with her, but she's been getting progressively, and thankful for this, progressively more and more comfortable at our house. But
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. Because we had what I call, well, we used to have a neighbor that was right across,
Yeah.
that would just come over,
yeah.
and I would call him my Kimmy Gibbler because he'd just be like, hey.
Well, I love that.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
like the comfort, right? They
Yes.
walk right in, like, hey, can I come in? All right, get in here.
Yeah.
But then they moved because their house burned down and they're rebuilding. And then we have another friend in the neighborhood where he's like kind of an only child at their
Mhm.
house because the older one is in college
Uh-huh.
and now he's like lonely.
Yeah.
So like, oh, okay, well I'll pick him up and he can play with my boys. And he is right around the same age. However, the comfort thing, like he'll go right up into my pantry
Yes.
like, I'm hungry.
Yes.
What can I eat? I'm
Yes.
like,
That is exactly what she does.
oh, okay, I hit it. I
Yeah.
hit the nail in the head. Why is that agitating?
I don't know, man, but I know for a fact my kids don't do that.
Right. I actually even told my kids, you don't go when you go to your friend's house, you don't just like pull open the pantry. I actually asked.
Right.
I was like, do you go in there and grab things?
Uh-huh.
No, never. My kids wouldn't even ask for a cup of water.
Yeah.
They would get it if they were offered.
Mhm.
But I don't know. It's a trigger.
It is a trigger.
And then he's like, you don't have anything, Ellen. That pisses me off.
So, do you address it with his mom or do you address it with him? I think he's old enough that you can address it with him.
I address it with him.
Yeah.
And I even, actually, my friend's great. My
Mhm.
friend is absolutely great. Listen,
Mhm.
I tell her, when he comes into my house,
Mhm.
he's going to be just one of the boys.
Yeah.
And in fact, we've even had this talk where if he does something out of
Mhm.
line that I find my kids like swearing,
Mhm.
or I'm going to discipline him.
Mhm.
Are you okay with that? I'm going to treat him as one of mine.
Mhm.
And she's like, absolutely. And I give her the same leeway when my
Mhm.
kids are in it. There's like, if they act out of line,
Yeah.
put them in their place.
Yeah.
You have that.
I think that's a great ground rule.
Yeah.
I think I was operating a little bit differently because she's so much younger than my
Yeah. It's a
kids.
little,
And so I'm
definitely.
always like reminding myself, like, she doesn't know better.
Yeah. Kindergarten is a tiny
Yeah.
age. Yeah.
And so, like, if it's something that I can address in like 30 seconds, I'll
Yeah.
say, like, oh no, like, let's not open like all the,
Yeah.
all the drawers.
But
Like,
that is a triggering thing. Why is
yeah,
that though?
because it's a violation. Like, do I go into your house and just open?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. They're grab, grab, grab.
Just to look?
Yeah.
Just to, it's, you know, uh,
Actually, I hate it even when my
it's not
mother-in-law
like,
does it.
yes, but it's
She
not like,
goes
it's
snooping.
different from like a 3-year-old toddler, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because they're discovering stuff.
Right. And you don't want to snuff out their curiosity,
Right.
Jane. You don't want to be that person.
Right.
She's Dora the Explorer.
Right, right.
Vamos!
But it's really tough because I can't manage that while I'm working with Ruby.
Yeah.
And a lot of times there's lots of, I have asked like, oh, let's bring the noise level down so that, Bennett can concentrate. The quicker he's done with his homework, the quicker he can play with you. And
Yeah.
so I suspect that
She told her
I've
mom?
made myself a reputation because Ruby told me that Ruby told me that she overheard her saying under her breath, like, I hate this house. Yeah.
No.
And she
Stop
said,
it.
yeah. And I said, oh, really? And Ruby said, yeah. And she sighed, like, I hate this house. And like, very often, other times says, like, I'm so bored.
Oh, that's very
I
typical. Yeah.
I'm never allowed to. I can never do anything here.
You know what? Let me make you feel good. You are definitely doing the right thing being an overseer, and because it was right in kindergarten
Mm-hmm.
that my Gavin, who is now 13, was with his grandparents, and he went opening, getting into all sorts of stuff, and shaved his head with the shaver.
Oh my gosh.
With his grandpa's shaver,
Yeah.
and put a little hole right on the head.
Oh my
Went
gosh.
So then we have to shave his whole
Yeah.
head. So hey, you are absolutely doing the right thing by making it, a buzzkill.
Another thing, I'll always close my door, my bedroom door.
Yeah.
But it is always opened. Like, it's always open. Like whenever I go into the hallway, then I'm like closing it again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is that happening? Like,
Yeah.
is she going in there to look for Bennett? And Ruby's
Yeah.
like, yeah. She's like always like chasing him around. I'm like, okay, well, all right. So there's things that, I just let go.
Yeah.
But oh, and here's the other thing. I know that as the school year progressed, I got the feeling that it was a burden on Bennett to be like this babysitter figure.
Aw,
And so I
yeah.
wanted to create for him like his own space.
Yeah.
So when he wanted to take up violin lessons, he used to play violin, now he plays viola. So, now it's viola lessons. But when he first took up violin lessons, the only day that was available was the day that we brought her home.
Oh, okay.
So
one day a week.
one day a
Okay.
week, yeah. And all the other days he had other activities.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to overload him, but I just thought that might be a good time for him to get some alone time.
Yeah.
So he still, he was still after school for like a couple of hours, but then Ben would pick him up
Yeah.
and then take him to his lesson.
Okay.
And then I think that's when it got tougher because our friend prefers Bennett over Ruby.
The story just gets better and better. Uh-huh.
And so, and Ruby's the one that I have to work with on the homework,
Yeah.
right? So,
She's already got enough on her plate.
mhm,
Okay. And
mhm.
which makes enough on your plate.
Yes, yes,
And so now you have this bored child who's
yes,
huffing and hawing that your house is boring
yes,
and she doesn't like it here.
yes.
Then you just want to be like, then you can leave.
And Ruby, she's always the queen of comebacks, right?
Oh, I love
Because the
that.
other day, like the other week, the friend is like making all these observations about our house. Now our house is small. It is significantly smaller than my friend's house. And my friend is the one who hosts like get-togethers
Yeah.
and stuff. And we hardly ever host
Yeah.
unless it's like one family,
Yeah.
because it just gets too crowded,
Yeah.
and like the floor plan doesn't make sense to have like a bunch of little kids running around, and we
Right.
also don't have toys, so I
Yeah.
just know that it's not going to be as fun,
Yeah.
right? So that's an objective thing I can admit,
Yeah.
right? But then she makes this observation like, your house doesn't have an upstairs,
Oh,
but it
no.
has a basement. But and Ruby's like, yeah, our house has our house doesn't have an upstairs. So our main floor is kind of like the upstairs,
Yeah.
right? Cuz like when we say upstairs, downstairs,
Yeah.
we're talking about like the
Right.
main floor or
Yeah.
like downstairs in the basement. And then she goes, "Your house is so different from my house."
Oh.
And Ruby's like eating her snack. She looks at her and she goes, "Well, every house is different."
I freaking
I
Ruby
just,
needs her own show.
pointedly looked at them, the two of them, and I said, "That's exactly right, Ruby."
Ruby's like, duh.
Yeah. And I will have to say, like, our house is like, that's like a complex for me because it is the smallest house that we've ever lived in,
Okay, but
yet
yes.
the most expensive house,
Right,
right? And
right.
that is Seattle living.
And
for
I just
you.
want
It
to
is
tell you,
like
I love your house.
what it
I
was what
love
we
it.
could afford.
No, I love your house, and I live out in the other side of the woods
Mhm.
with 3,900 square feet. But it's like now I want a smaller house. I just feel like
And
I
the
have
thing is,
more to
like,
clean.
oh my gosh. But I feel like that is debatable because I feel like with the smaller house, I'm cleaning all the time because
Oh,
I need to get rid of stuff or
that's
like
true. I do
move stuff.
throw
You
a
know what I
bunch of
mean?
shit into
Yeah.
like.
But if I had a bigger house, then I would just amass like that much more stuff to fill that house, right?
That's exactly what you would do. Yeah.
I would probably just be doing like purging like less frequently. But um
I think you're better. Yes, but you are better. It's almost like you are kept on a cleaning cycle.
yes.
Whereas what ends up happening is like I overload myself to a
Mm.
point of like, oh my God, now it's like ridiculously uncapped.
Like at our house, everything is visible.
yeah.
So there's no kind of corners that you can tuck
Right.
things away.
And I hide
Not a
everything
lot
in
of storage
corners.
space or closet space
I'm
to
Monica.
tuck
Remember
things
that
away.
episode where she like stuffs everything in the
Yeah.
I throw everything in Adonis's office. He's like, why my office though? I'm like,
Yeah.
you're not there anymore.
Well, we've done several cycles of purging
yeah.
just in the last
Do
3
you
weeks.
guys call like one of those 1-800-GOT-JUNK or how do you do
we
it?
did that when we first moved in because
Yeah.
the size difference was pretty big.
Yeah.
And so we couldn't just handle it with like Goodwill runs and
Oh,
stuff.
now you
but
do Goodwill runs?
now we do that. I have
Okay.
like, I'll use like a service to like recycle and sell clothes
Yeah.
or donate and all that. And for the other
Nice.
stuff, we'll just kind of do it little by little like that. But so going back to the small house, that is a complex of mine,
And this
especially
child
lately.
picks at it.
Yes. Yes, right? And I'm telling myself, Jane, this is a very developmentally normal observation.
Right.
At the same time, it is triggering that
Because
that
it's
little
kinda
piece
like-
of insecurity for
Yeah,
me.
it's like one of those ajumas that come over here. I'm like, tip
right. And here's
like,
the thing
the
is
house
like
is small.
that's my issue,
Right.
right? But I would be pissed if one day my kids wake up and say like, why aren't we in a better house? Because my kids have never said that. They love our house. Like when
Yeah.
I ask them, if they're happy and content, like
I
they're
don't
like,
think
yeah.
your kids would ever say that. They
But I
love.
told after she went home that night, I told my kids, like, listen, don't you ever think it's okay to judge someone else's living
Yeah,
space.
for sure.
And they've never, I mean, they've made observations like, oh, I wish I lived in a big house like so and so. But that was more like when they were younger. I
Yeah.
think now they have, a little bit more awareness. And
Yeah.
granted, my kids are older, but it was really bugging me, and like just wondering, like, is this something that I bring up or address? And I feel like it's not right for me to be this worked up. Um,
Yeah.
but my concern primarily is I don't want my kids
To
to
be
feel.
affected.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Because I will tell you, actually, I now that you say it, I think my child did do that when we were over at we were there at the same time. So it was like I think it was like a holiday party at a friend's, and my kids had not been to like a Rambler house.
Mm-hmm.
So the house is big, but it's a
Yeah.
Rambler. It just
Yeah.
stretches out. So my I think at the time it was probably Sawyer, and he was running around like, "This is it? Your house is small." I think he did say
Yeah,
that, and I
yeah.
was mortified.
Yeah.
Horribly horrified. I immediately jumped out. I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry. He is a dumb child. Please ignore him." Like, I was horrified.
Yeah.
Luckily I was there,
Uh-huh.
and like I'm pretty sure my friend was, like, "Don't worry about
Mhm.
it. Kids say the weirdest shit." But I think your concern is because it sounds like it's redundant.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's the issue.
Yeah.
Because it's not a one-off.
No.
So, yeah.
There's a dissatisfaction there that,
I think maybe, I hope I'm not coming off harsh, but cut off the play date.
well, it naturally will, because
Yeah.
I said I don't think I can do this next year.
Yeah.
Naturally,
And the school year's almost over.
Yeah. Bennett's going to be off at middle school with a completely different schedule.
Yeah.
And with Ruby, I really need to work with her.
Yeah. The homework's going to get harder.
It's going to get
crazy.
harder. It's going to get longer.
Yeah.
And so I don't think I'll have the bandwidth to do that. It just won't make sense.
Are you close enough to your friend where you could have that kind of conversation, you think?
Maybe with wine.
Mm.
Yeah. I think it has to come in the proper context. I don't want to have it when I am triggered and irritated.
Yeah. I actually have a really good friend
Mm-hmm.
in the neighborhood, and I don't know if I told you this, but my neighbors, well, she's really my good friend, and she happens to also live in the neighborhood, but she has a son that's on the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
I did tell you this, but like, I don't know if I told you about this incident. And it's really tough because they used to all like play along, but now that Gavin is 13,
That is so tough.
yeah, and he's like, and when the 13-year-old doesn't want to hang out with somebody, then the
Yeah.
9-year-old's like, me neither,
Yeah.
and they're kind of, and I feel really bad because he still
know.
wants to hang out.
Yeah.
But there was a thing that happened where I dropped off the 13-year-old, my Gavin and Sawyer, to
Mhm.
another house because they were invited.
Mm-hmm.
And then as we were leaving that house, I said, "Oh, and tomorrow, like, we're gonna go to this person's house." And the other kid the house that we had been in, let's just say it's John. John was like, "Oh, Brian's house? You're gonna go to that weird kid?" And I felt so bad. I like stopped in my tracks, turned around.
Mm-hmm.
Did I tell you about this?
I think so.
Yeah, and I said,
Yeah.
"Hey, you don't say that."
Mm-hmm.
Like that. He's like, well, it's true. Like it's not just me. Everybody calls him that. And I was like, okay,
Mm,
all the more reason for
yeah.
you to not say it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I kind of corrected him
Sure.
there. And he doesn't know the other kid well.
Mhm.
And he's like, well, it's because he does these things on the bus. He has these
Yeah.
outbursts and
Yeah.
he swears a lot. And my friend had an incident on the bus before, which was
Mhm.
very like hurtful to her kind of a couple years when he was younger, where all the neighborhood parents were talking
Mhm.
about her child
Mhm.
without actually coming to her.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, like
Mhm.
this bus situation is happening again, but now he's like older, right?
Mhm.
So I was like, do I tell her? Oh,
Mhm.
but I also feel like kids just do what they do.
Yeah.
How are you going to rein in a whole bus full of kids?
Right.
But I know that what I don't want is for her to like, she's like, I just wish in that last case, she just wished some of the parents would have just addressed her directly
Yeah.
instead of perpetuating in this child talk with the kids. Like, oh,
Right.
yeah, that kid's weird and that kid does
Yeah.
this. I was so anxious to
Mhm.
bring this
Of
up because we're
course.
good friends. But my biggest thing was like I don't want her to feel like what happened last time. That
Mhm.
people are talking
Yeah.
and she can't protect her child. That's
Right.
like the worst
It's the
feeling.
worst feeling.
So, but I approached her with wine, wine, and I said, and I think it's all about the approach, right? Like, hey,
Yeah.
listen, at one point I think I was don't do what I did because I was like, I love you and I would want you to know what you want to know. And she's like, oh my God, Ellen, just shut up and tell me what's going on. She's like, you're making me more scared.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay. So this thing is happening on the bus and they're saying this. And I just want you to know I nipped it in the bud before it got to anybody's talking point. And she was like, I know.
Mhm.
I mean, I know that the kids call him weird, and what can I
Mm.
do? Like,
Yeah.
but she had a really great take, which is like, well, if you ask my kid,
Mhm.
how was your day?
Mhm.
He's oblivious.
Yeah.
That's like sort of his superpower.
Yes.
He's having a good time.
Yes.
So as long as he's feeling fine,
Mhm.
I'm not going to worry about something that I
Mhm.
can't control. And I
Yeah.
thought, wow,
That is great. Yeah.
that's
That's
that was really like that. But I was so glad to have that talk with
Mhm.
her because you would want to know, right?
I would want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like it sucks because there's not much you can do.
Mhm.
But I think it's the knowing in case something might happen to
Yeah.
be kind of ready for it. But
Yeah.
it sucks because
It
it just
does
adds
suck.
to your anxiety.
Yes. And I have two like close friends. It
Yeah.
you know, in Seattle in our neighborhood, and our families hang out a lot, but I see the divergence
Yeah.
because it's just natural divergence.
I know.
Bennett is a lot older, like he's like 5 years older than the kids, and then Ruby is the next one, and but Ruby's getting older, and with Ruby's communication like challenges and developmental like delays,
Mhm.
you can already see like the younger kids surpassing her in their
Oh,
ability to communicate,
yeah.
socialize, and all of that. So
That
it's not
that
their
hurts, right?
favorite. It's not their favorite social circle,
Yeah.
and
How do
I
you
feel
manage
more and
that,
more.
Jane?
I have to balance it. I have to balance it with yeah. I
Just
do have to
hearing about
balance
that
it.
makes my heart
Yeah,
ache. I
we're
can only
not like
imagine.
lockstep, like we're kind of like the third wheel family.
Mm.
And so
Oh,
it's I think it's coming to a head especially this year because like once they get to like third grade, like 9, 10 years old, like I just feel like the jump, there's such a big jump in the
yeah.
development. Already Bennett
Yeah.
is like at those gatherings, like off on his own or just sitting
Yeah.
with the grown-ups at the grown-up table.
Yeah. I mean, and
Um,
Gavin's always like, why? Why do I have
yeah.
to take? He's very blunt about it. Like, these are
Yeah.
my
I
friends.
know.
I'm like, all right then. But then I feel bad for
Yeah.
Sawyer because Sawyer's just like, it's fine. Mom,
Yeah.
don't. Sawyer's the one comforting me, and I feel
Oh.
so bad about that
Yeah.
because he's like, Mom, it's fine. Just chill. Sawyer is like, I don't know. I worry about him
Yeah.
because he just sort of like everything's fine. He's a
Mhm.
Mr. Fine. It's
Mhm.
fine. He doesn't want me to make a big fuss about it, and I don't want to make a big fuss about it, but I can like see it hurts him. It's just
Mhm.
how do you uh how do you manage?
I don't know. I think I'm in it right now. I think I'm in
Yeah.
that space where I have to decide how to manage it. Yeah.
What are your options?
I don't know.
It's like unknown territory. You're
It
just
is
getting
unknown
into it.
territory. Yeah, it was much easier, I think, when they were
Little, right?
little.
Yeah.
Um,
I
I
miss
am
that.
so glad that Ruby does have kind of that oblivious
Yeah.
kind of nature
I
and
love
just kind of takes things at face value.
yeah. I do
Um,
think, Jane, my mom when my friend said it's a superpower,
mm,
I was like, you're right.
yeah,
It really is.
yeah,
Cuz a lot of what we get bogged down with is being too aware of what
yes,
other people might be thinking when they're
mm-hmm,
actually not even probably thinking it.
yeah, yeah.
And
Um,
it just adds extra anxiety.
totally. Bennett got invited to all the birthday parties this year.
Mm.
Ruby got invited to none.
Ugh.
And
That's kind of like
as
Gavin
a
and Sawyer
parent,
too.
like I was kind of unaware and just kind of like, because it's always been that way.
Yeah.
Maybe in kindergarten there were a few, when
Yeah.
it was still the norm to invite
Yeah.
the whole class.
Yeah.
And I think it stopped around like first, second grade, maybe.
Mm.
Less and less every year. And I didn't think she had an awareness. But just
Mm.
last week, she said, "How come I don't get invited to birthday parties?"
Oh. How did you
And
answer that?
well, she asked Ben, not me. I didn't ask him like how he answered that, but
Oh. Do
so
you
it
think she
is.
knew not to ask you and ask
No,
Ben
no, I don't
instead?
think so.
Oh,
I
it
think
just
it
happened to
was
be
on her
who it
mind
landed on?
because she went with Ben to drop Bennett off at a birthday party. Yeah, and she always
Oh.
asks like, "Oh, am I going too?" 'Cause sometimes like, siblings
Yeah.
are invited. For a
Yeah.
while, like Bennett's friends would, say, "Oh, Ruby come too," or so she
Oh,
got to tag
yeah.
along.
Yeah.
Yeah, but more and more it's been the norm, especially with Bennett, like
You
fifth
didn't ask Ben
fifth
how
grade
he answered
boys.
that?
No, because it hit me then that, oh damn, like she's right. She didn't get
Oh.
invited to any parties this year. Like her very close friends didn't have parties. They
Oh,
just did it at school.
okay.
Um
Well, there's that answer.
yeah,
Like,
and I didn't
actually,
have
these
one.
didn't have.
I didn't throw her one either. Like their birthdays fall at in February, like a very
Okay.
inconvenient
So
time because
that's
it's
sort
always
of an
like
honest answer. Actually,
midwinter
your friends
break.
didn't have big birthday parties.
Yeah, yeah,
So
your
that's one
closest
answer.
friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like one of them did, I think we were out of town or like
Okay.
there's a lot of like she has a lot of friends who I don't really know the parents of. Like they don't show
Yeah.
up to school functions cuz
Right.
they're like postdocs. So they're
Yeah.
like always, they have like different schedules and
Yeah.
are students
Yeah.
or. And so a lot of times she'll ask me for play dates and I'm
Right.
like, I'm fine with that, but you need to give them like the uh give me their number or
Yeah.
like ask them how I can get in contact
Yeah.
with your parents because I don't run into them at school,
Yeah.
you know. So, yeah, but all that to say, um the navigating, you know, different aged kids, especially when they're your friends' kids and you interact very closely
Yeah.
with each other. There's dynamics to
Mm.
navigate. And
Have you ever had a situation where like that affected the friendship?
not yet, I don't
Okay.
think. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's what I
it's
worry about.
starting to be new for me too. So
Yeah.
that's why it's um I think that's why I'm feeling a little bit anxious
Yeah,
'Cause
I
I'm like, oh,
definitely.
I haven't been through this
I
situation yet.
know.
You know, my best friend who lives in LA, she has like the exact same age as my kids, and
Mm.
they're like, you know, buddies whenever we visit each other,
Oh,
but
okay.
they don't see them regularly, you
Right.
know. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it'll be very telling this summer because we're doing
Whew.
lots of things with
Yeah.
the families.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'll just have to, I don't know, like kind of be fly on the wall and observe and
Yeah.
see how the kids do that. But at the same time, like, I also am a firm believer, like I don't solve all their problems.
Right.
And
I mean, I felt
and
bad.
then just because it's an obstacle, like remove it. Like I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
Is like, hey, I know that it was not my favorite thing to hang out with my mom's friends families.
Oh,
You know what I
right.
mean? Because it's like you don't choose that, and I'm like, I'm not that the moms like the moms are friends, but that doesn't mean like I'm friends with
Yeah.
their kids. So there is that
That's
too.
true.
Yeah.
That is actually the core par for the course in
Mm-hmm.
life, like
Yeah.
being in situations. So, I've been forcing my boys to continue their piano
Uh
lessons
huh.
against their will. And then the 13-year-old has really been oppositional, extra, like just amping up, like,
Yeah.
why? Why do I have to do something I hate? And then my answer was, we all have to do shit we hate. Look at me having to talk to you about this. I hate it, but we're doing it. Like, that's part of, like, because I
Yeah.
want you to know how to get through life doing things you hate.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. I mean, we had that same conversation with the kids last night
Yeah.
because we were talking about that when Ruby said that, the friend said, I hate it here.
Yeah.
I hate this house. And I was like, you know what?
Not
I'm
every
sorry,
minute
but
of your life is doing everything that you want to
she didn't
do.
like the after school program. She hated that. So
Yeah.
she came to our house. She hated that too. I'm sorry. Like,
Like,
you can't be at home.
yeah.
Like your parents said,
Yeah.
they're working.
Yeah.
So this is as good as it's gonna get. And I told the kids, and I was like, sometimes you have to do things that you don't like
Yep.
going to Korean school. And
There it is.
then
They
Ruby's
don't like
like,
it. They don't like Korean school.
Bennett didn't like it.
Okay.
Because he said it was like 3 hours where he had
It
no
is
idea what's going
long.
on.
Yeah.
But so I think it's long for the teachers too, because sometimes their recess is like an hour long,
I swear to
legitimately,
God, those things are not organized
which is
well.
torture when you're
Yeah.
not having fun
It
and
is
you're like,
torture.
when is this recess
Yeah.
ending? Like,
When does this thing end? When do I get to go home? I remember feeling that way as a kid. And my husband always, God, he's such a better parent. Remember when you used to be a kid? He's always like, don't you remember what
yeah,
it was like? Don't you remember being told you had to do piano when you didn't want to? And true, I did take
yeah.
piano lessons, and I did not like it.
Hmm.
I will admit to that. And he goes, you got to remember when you were a kid, babe. Like, you did not like those things. I
I
was like,
got swim lessons, did not like it, but
yeah,
thanks to those swim lessons, I'm a
you know
good
how to swim.
swimmer. I got tennis lessons, did not like
You
it.
had tennis lessons as a
Yes,
kid?
I did.
Okay, so you're doing better off in your adult lessons then, probably,
I'm
because of
better
that.
off in my adult lessons because it's like, I'm kind of
No,
harkening
but
back to
yeah, but
that
you had the
30 years
fundamentals
ago.
back there, yeah?
No, I didn't have fundamentals, but it made more sense this time,
Okay, that's
right?
what I mean.
Yeah. But did not like it. I got piano lessons, did not like it.
Yeah.
Korean
Could you
school,
play a
did not
song
like
if you
it.
sat down on a piano?
Yes.
See?
But
That's
that's
something.
because I had to relearn. When my kids started playing piano, I had to
Oh.
relearn so that I could help them practice. But it was fun. It was and I was like, I was thankful. I was thankful I had those
Right?
several
So,
years
okay,
of
so you
lessons.
did
And I'm
now.
so thankful
Yeah,
that
that you had that.
I was forced,
Yeah.
not forced. I never questioned it, but I was thankful that I
I'm
had
definitely
Korean
forcing
school.
my kids. I'm definitely forcing them.
Yeah.
And I know they hate it now. I am like 99.9% sure when they become adults, they will thank me. Because Adonis's Adonis was the very musical one.
Mhm.
He's the only one that's stuck with piano
Mhm.
and he plays like for fun now.
It's wonderful.
But his younger brother and older brother both wish they'd been more musical.
Yeah.
And actually, the younger one, whatever he's over at our house, he's jamming away on the piano from what he remembers.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And I was like, and I always tell them, like, your uncles also hated piano.
Yeah.
And they so wish they could play better on the piano. Like, ask them now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about uncle. But I'm also like, you know what? If I don't make you do piano lessons, what else are you going to do? You're just going to sit and do video games, and I need you to take a break from video games and stimulate your brain in other ways.
Yeah.
I do not care if they don't even know how to play the piano in their adult year. Like, but just what you said, if one day their kids are learning piano and they can help them out, that is a good enough prize for me.
Yeah.
So, because I don't have that. I got cut off too early. I mean, my dumbass didn't know we did not have the luxury for me to whine. So one whining and my parents are like, done. You don't want to do it? I don't have the money to do it. Forget it. This was a luxury to begin with. So it got taken away immediately.
Yeah.
And so, you know. Although I don't think my brother can play anything, even though he took piano lessons longer than me.
We have it so easy now where you can like register online. But my parents were going at my dad was going at 5 a.m. to the community center to stand in line to sign up for swim lessons. You know, like that's how it was all like, you know, physical. Like you had to do everything in person.
We have the piano teacher come to our house weekly, and then we have the flute lessons virtually.
Oh, right now, currently for your kids? That's
Sawyer
great.
is fluting away.
That's so cute.
I was like, I don't even know how to play the instrument. Adonis was like, have you checked in on his lessons? I'm like, nope. He just logs on and he logs off and he says he had a great time. I honestly don't even care if he doesn't practice. He says he had a great time. So I just want to keep it that way.
That is great. I mean, so it's about a balance, right?
Yeah.
I'm
not trying to make him
no.
a flute expert.
No.
Yeah.
No.
A flautist.
Right.
Is that
flautist? I thought that's like a Mexican, like a taco, but a rolled taco is a flauta.
Oh, is it not a flautist?
I don't know. A flutist? A flutist?
I don't know, but Adonis was joking when he called it that.
Oh. Well, he must know.
He must have been mocking me, and I didn't know. I thought you would be like, oh, yeah. You don't know what a flute player is called?
I would assume it's flutist, but maybe no.
He was like, oh my God. Okay.
We're going to look it up.
Yeah. Can you do it? Do Siri, what do you call a flute player?
Oh.
Do you do that?
Let me see. Hey, Siri, what do you call a flute player? You're right. A flautist, flutist, flute player, or less commonly a fluter.
It's a flautist, people.
A flautist.
Why do I say like?
Interesting.
I wonder if that's so funny. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. You learned something. You could just say flutist, though.
Yes.
Is what you're saying. Okay.
Yes. But I mean, this parenting thing, it's all our first time, too.
We're just doing the best that we can. And you have to show yourself grace.
Yeah.
And please.
I did, if the next time that kid's like, I hate it here.
Yeah. What are you going to say?
I'm going to say, so do I.